Today what we're going to do is we're going to solve rational equations with three variables. So if you're looking at our example, what we have is we have 1, 2, and 3. Now, when we have 3, we can't cross multiply. What we have to do is we have to look at the common denominator. Here we have a denominator of x plus 2. Here we don't have 1, so we know that it's 1. And here our denominator is 4. What we do is we take the product of all of them. So the product of all of them would be 4 and then x plus 2. And what we do is we multiply each of the terms by the 4 and the x plus 2. Now when you're looking at it, with this first one, what we do is we cancel the x plus 2's, and that's why we get 4 times 5, which is 20. For this next one, because there's nothing to cancel, we multiply the 4 and the 2, and that gives us the 8, and we still have the x plus 2. And with the last term, the 4's cancel, so what we get is 9, and then x plus 2, which is 9x plus 18. We distribute the 8, and now we add the like terms. 20 plus 16 is 36. Then we subtract the 8 to get x. We subtract the 18 to get 8. The 18 from 36 to get 18, and that gives us our answer. So looking at letter A, we're going to first look for our common denominator. We have x, we have 9, and that is, of course, 1. So that means our common denominator is 9x. So we multiply all the terms by 9x. For the first one, when we multiply it, the x's cancel, so we get 9 times 3, which is 27. For the next one, we multiply the 9x times 1, and we get 9x. And for the third one, the 9's cancel, so what we get is 5x. I'm going to bring the x's on one side, so I'm going to subtract the 9x. I get 27 equals negative 4x. I divide it by negative 4. And so that right there, 4 doesn't go into 27, so I get negative 27 over. Now, looking at letter B, we're going to do the same thing. This right here is a 1. So my common denominator, x plus 1, 1 and 5, would be 5x plus 1. Now, when I'm looking at this, I see that the x plus 1's cancel. So I have 5 times 11, which is 55. For the next one, nothing cancels. So this is a 4, this is a 5. That would be negative 20x. Now, some of you are going to be so good you could do that in your head, but I'm going to do one step at a time. Next one, we see that the 5's cancel. 1 times x plus 1 is just going to be x plus 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify. So I'm going to distribute the negative 20 to each of the terms. So I get 55 minus 20x minus 20 equals x plus 1. I add the like terms. So that means that 55 and negative 20 give me 35. I'm going to add the 20x on both sides to get the x's together. So I get 35 equals 21x. Then I'm going to subtract the 1, and I get 34 is equal to 21x. My next step is I'm going to divide by 21. And so my answer is x equals Now, looking at letter C, once again, the same process. I look at my common denominator. X plus 6, 3. This right here would be 1. So my common denominator is 3 and x plus 6. 3 and x plus 6. 3 and x plus 6. With the first one, nothing cancels. 3 times 6 is 18. For the next one, the x plus 6's cancel. So what we have is 2 times 3, which of course is 6. And for the next one, the 3's cancel. So I have minus 4 and then x plus 6. Notice I have the x plus 6 here. Here I have the 4. Now I'm going to simplify. I distribute the 18 to each of the terms. 18x. 18 times 6 is 108. Then I distribute the negative 4 to each of the terms. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the like terms. So I have 18x plus 108 is equal to negative 4x. Then we have 6 minus 24 gives me negative 18. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 4x on both sides. And I get 22x plus 108 equals negative 18. I'm going to subtract the 108. And I get 22x is equal to negative 126. I divide each side by 22. They both have a 2 in common when I reduce it. So what I get is negative. If I divide the 126 by 2, I get 63. If I divide the 22 by 2, I get 11.